Welcome to episode 4 of the TV Autopsy, slicing its way through the series you love. My name is James.
My name is Deborah.
My name is Megan.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very well. I got sunburnt today.
Oh, very nice.
I am very red. It's really bad.
I got sunburnt on Wednesday, but my nose is already peeling. It's very attractive.
Well, I like to stay in the shade, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Well, I just don't like the sunshine. I'm miserable.
Vampiric.
But talking of something that isn't miserable, we watched Friends Reunion, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did.
Could it have been any more of a TV show? Well, you know.
That is quite an open question, James.
All right, but before we get on to that, I have got a little bit of news that I thought I'd slip in. So, Megan, what's this about your story being on Instagram? Tell us. This is the ongoing saga of your campaign to get the dogs on television, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, the priority is to get lovely Graham Hall to sort the dogs out because they're mentalists. And they are open at the moment for applications for a new series of dogs behaving very badly. So I have applied, I think, as I told you in the last podcast, and then I thought it wouldn't hurt to try and leverage a little bit of social media. So I tried it recently with customer services when I had problems with my new sofa, and it worked out marvelously. So I decided to reword a song and sing Graham a serenade.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. No. What was the song?
Here's the clip.
Jolene, 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 you're gorgeous, but you need to calm it down. Jolene, 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 if you're calmer, people will come round.
Oh. It's Jolene, obviously. I mean, What other song could you possibly repurpose for a dog called Jolene?
Yes.
So yes, and I tagged the lovely Graham as well as the production company, and he laughed at it. And by that I mean he sent me a laughy face.
Well, that's good.
And then he reposted it to his own account. So I'm just going to keep up a little bit of media silliness.
Yeah, they're like crazy people on television.
Yeah.
I would try a parody song from a Dolly Parton cover. I think mine was from Here We Go Again, and it was about Madeleine McCann. So the least we say about that, the better. Okay. All right. So we are going to move on to our feature. So the series up for dissection this month is Friends Reunion. So let's play the theme tune. Okay, so Deborah's going to give us her fact hunt. Fact hunt!
Well, it's just basically one show On Rotten Tomatoes, this is a special that has an approval rating of 68% based on 22 reviews with an average score of 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. The episode has been rated by 20,000 people and has received an average rating of 8.5 out of 10. The website's critic consensus is it may work best for diehards, but when it cuts out the noise and focuses on the connections, Friends the Reunion is as warm and comforting as a night in the cafe. Actors: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, David Schwimmer. And then all the other people that are involved, as well as the producer.
Well, I think we should maybe mention the producer.
So Kaufman.
Sorry, have you not got that bit of the?
No.
Oh, I am sorry.
Kaufman, Bright, and
Very good. Crane, David Crane.
David Crane. Yep.
We should say, unfortunately, that the host was James Corden.
Do we have to?
We'll get onto that. Yeah.
I think everyone should be aware before they start watching it.
Yeah, like a stupid Father Christmas in the middle of summer. The director was Ben Winston. Spin-offs. Well, we had Joey. Did anyone see Joey?
Yeah, I saw a few.
No.
Yeah.
And you can find it on Sky, and there is just one episode, and it's set in the US. Okay, so let's have a clip.
The test is ready. Rachel wrote Ross a letter and demanded he read it before they got back together. How many pages was that letter?
18 pages!
18 pages.
Front and back!
Front and back is correct.
Wait, go one more time!
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Where's the tissue box?
The cast of Friends.
Wow. Does Courtney still have her lines written on the table?
We've literally just slipped right back.
We regret.
We have such a bond from this show.
Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yes.
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 Bullshit.
The first table read, that's the first time I laid eyes on any of you.
Everyone was so perfectly cast.
Yeah.
This is from the one where everyone finds out.
Oh! My eyes! I know.
Okay, right. So, Megan, could you give us a synopsis, please? What's it all about?
Well, disappointingly, it's not a new episode. And of the Friends sitcom, which I think everybody was initially expecting.
Yes.
So there was lots of cryptic announcements about them all getting, the one where they got back together. And then with a few days notice, it was kind of like, oh, by the way, it's not actually a new episode. It's just all of the core team getting back together and reminiscing about the 10 years. I mean, it's pretty epic TV series. We've all got our memories of it, which I'm sure we'll cover, but yeah, it was just them reminiscing, little clips and some other wannabes gate crashing the event. would be my assessment.
Yes, that's very good.
All right.
Very good assessment.
Okay, so why do we choose this, guys? I was thinking about this today, and we're all of a certain age that when Friends came out, it was like when we were just growing up, going out, getting drunk. It was it was quite a seminal time in our lives, I guess. And, it had a huge impact, I suppose. Culturally, it hit the zeitgeist. It was everywhere.
For me, it wasn't. So for me, Friends emerged as I was leaving school and going into uni.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I don't know about you, James, but if you're only just going out drinking, I've been drinking since I was like 13, 14 down the old pubs. So it kind of would be on the telly. And of course, in those days, you wouldn't be,
If you weren't at home, you didn't see it.
Yeah, basically, you did. It wasn't the sort of thing that you would tape. and watch at a later date. If it was on while we were at uni, I might watch an episode. But so I was not one of those.
Well,
I had better things to do. I had lots of things to do.
But you see, on the other,
go on, Megan.
No, you carry on, James.
I was just going to say, nor was I, but it seeped into our culture.
Yes.
Everyone knew about Rachel's haircut. Or,
yeah, that's true.
That's
true. Yeah,
things like that.
It's only.
And I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I was.
Not
I
that
think
much older.
No, but I think I was working. I'd finished uni and was working. Certainly when Ross and Rachel got together, and it was a big event to watch it, and you used to watch it before going out, so it was kind of quite an event. It was eventful TV. It was an event TV thing, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And so it definitely, it would, I would make a point of watching it. We might not go out until it had finished. And there certainly the one where Rachel and Ross got together, I can remember there was a very deliberate friends coming together and watching it in my flat. Because, and I can remember this very precisely, because I was living in a completely grotty house share flat in Reading, and we were still on a coin-operated electric meter, and the electricity ran out just as they were about to kiss.
Oh no!
There was a lot of screaming while people were trying to find pound coins. But for me, it was I was definitely, I would suspect this. I've never sat down and watched all 10 series back to back since you can get them on streaming, but I'd be surprised if there were many that I haven't seen.
So I recently watched the entire lot, all 10 seasons, with my 11-year-old son. So whilst I was familiar with some episodes, certainly the whole journey, the through line from 1 to 10, that was it. And obviously both of us were hooked. We loved it, but obviously I had to also point out to my 11-year-old that a lot of these themes, values, kind of views, opinions have changed somewhat.
A little bit problematic retrospectively now.
Absolutely, which he completely understood. He said, "Yeah, no, that's not appropriate now," or you
it's quite funny
like that now. Or
that because this has been brought up quite a few times. I think when it came onto Netflix, I think there was a lot of people saying that times have moved on, and that it's not quite politically correct, or all this kind of stuff. It's strange because you don't really get that with other sitcoms, do you? And I don't. I've they really kind of focused on these things are dated, and I wonder if it's the way that they created.
You do get it with other sitcoms. You do get it with lots of other sitcoms.
I don't remember any.
They don't get reshown. The ones that are really problematic don't get reshown.
Yes.
So the ones from the 60s, 70s,
House and
some just don't. They're totally shelved. I think that the part of the challenge with reshowing these is I think that some of the themes that we find problematic are a lot more there's been a lot more recent awakening in a lot for a lot of people. So that there's a lot of the fat jokes and the
gay jokes,
misogyny, and the that stuff that has. I still think an awful lot of people don't find it quite so problematic. So it's it's not bad. And it stands up in itself. A lot of the humor, it still stands, but some of the themes are all a little bit, you definitely wouldn't do that today. So I think it's on that cusp. It's not horrendous, but it's definitely aged.
Yeah,
absolutely. But as long as you're aware of that, that shouldn't take away your enjoyment of the show. All right. So as you said, it's not a new episode. But what do we think of the reunion itself as a show?
Look, lots of people on my sort of WhatsApp threads and things, the usual conversations, depending on the thread I was reading at the time, all from my friends and so on, were usually, oh God, it's James Corden. Oh, look, they've had work done. Oh, and them. Oh, and them. Oh, look at that person. Whoa, what's that? Oh, but ultimately, everyone actually really enjoyed it, enjoyed the journey, enjoyed reminiscing with them, and the revelations that came through, and just seeing the footage of, backstage, that kind of thing. With Courtney Cox looking absolutely amazing, lying on that sofa, just there, when the little camera comes up, and it's like, and she opens her eyes, and beautiful. And all those revelations, like the crush that Jen and David had.
Dave.
Yeah, I'll take those revelations over Meghan Markle's any day of the week.
And then it was kind of a show that was made up of 3 other shows. So you kind of had your clips, you had your interview, and you had your talking heads, celebrity talking heads.
Yeah, and I think we'll go into those in a minute. What about you, Megan?
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree. I really enjoyed it. It took me back a bit. It made me reminisce about, a lot of what I was doing at the time, and particularly remembering the Ross and Rachel Kiss disaster that we didn't see in real time because of the electricity. But I thought the stuff focusing on the 6 and also the producers' commentary, I thought that was I really enjoyed it. Had a big smile on my face while I was watching it, and mostly I just want to punch James Corden. And
I didn't mind him, actually.
What was they thinking getting him? I just don't get it.
I didn't mind him. I mean, he was full of platitudes, asking silly questions like, "Who had the loudest laugh?" I don't care that she had
and
the
his
loudest
voice. I mean, it seemed really effective.
It was fine. I didn't mind it. I felt sort of wistful and sad and happy at the same time. I wanted more. I especially wanted more from the creators and the producers. I wanted to know more about the casting experience, because that was good. It was a nice little.
It was really interesting, wasn't
how
it?
They did it and in what order. But I wanted to know more about. Okay, so when they found the Rachel, how did they know they found the Rachel? Who did they see, and how did the process go? All that sort of stuff.
Well, that's kind of uber fan territory, isn't it, really? And I wonder,
but it could have been
we
longer.
all wanted more of that.
We could have had a week. We could have had a week of these episodes just telling us stuff.
Because they gave us just the right amount, I think, it left us wanting more.
I want more.
Much more. Kind of professional rules about, say who didn't get the part to the other.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well, no, it doesn't even have to be that. Just like show us the audition tape, or show us the screen tape, or just more info. It would have been nice to have seen.
I have to say as well, I thought Marta Kaufman was brilliant.
Yeah.
What was brilliant, James? Sorry?
Marta Kaufman, she really captured the essence of how it all came together, because it was. I mean, there's never been a sitcom like it, let's be honest. It wasn't really ever about anything except just 6 friends living in New York.
But I think it was interesting that I'm sure the vast majority of what came out, I would imagine, is known, as you say, in the superfan territory. That none of that's a massive revelation, but actually I'd never consciously thought, well, hold on a second, there's not actually a lead. It's 6 leads, and that was a deliberate. It wasn't hanging their hat on. It probably it almost went against Monica because she was more recognised than the others, or Courtney Cox. And so I think some of that stuff was just really lovely to hear about it, and that the plan around it, so that was never intended to be what most sitcoms are, which is that there's a main character and then there's a whole load of stuff that happens around them.
I think the tributes from various celebrities seemed a bit disjointed from the actual real celebrities that were in the show. So, okay, we got a bit of Gunter, but nothing actually happened with that interview. It was just, hello, I'm Gunter. But then you'd have the catwalk. So Cindy Crawford comes up. It's like, well, why have we got Cindy Crawford? Why didn't we not have Elle Macpherson? Where the hell was Paul Rudd in all of this? And maybe Helen Baxendale, or even Sarah Ferguson, or Jennifer.
I found that
fabulous. I've forgotten her surname. French.
Found it really weird with that Cara Delevingne and Justin Bieber were up there.
Well, he was.
I mean, they were barely.
Yeah.
Well,
he was dressed as a potato and spent quite a long time wasting time. let's get on with the
But
show.
I mean, for a start, we have to remember that they're Americans as well. But if they're in that room going, "Hey, wanna be really funny? Let's get the coolest guy on the planet to dress up as a Sputnik."
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's how they're coming from.
forgetting Mr. Heckle's name, and then suddenly he appears in his little cameo. Oh my God, that was a bit awkward.
But in
and
fairness, I
embarrassing.
mean, I think he was written out in series 2. I don't
Mr.
think-
Heckles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but everyone remembers Mr. Heckles.
Well, I didn't remember.
He
him.
was the heckler. He was the heckler.
But yeah, I think you're right. Just talking about casting choice. To be honest, I always thought Gunther was a bit of a pointless character anyway.
No.
Well, go on, tell me 2 of his best moments.
Well, it's always the moments where he's rebuffed, and the moments where he dismisses.
Yeah, I guess.
I think there was always having him as a slightly creepy,
Yeah.
Obsessed with Rachel
Slightly
type.
stalkery.
Yeah, I think it was a valid part of the mix.
Yeah.
Was there anyone who you'd have liked to appear who didn't?
On this show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
On the special. Well, I would have
Mine
liked to
would
have
be
seen
all night.
Paul Rudd appear. I think the reenactment of the quiz episode was a bit rubbish, but then I realised the reason why they did it was just to get Tom Selleck in to do his bit.
Well, it was another way to get other guests in. Really.
Yeah.
And
I quite
loved
liked it.
I love the reenactment of my eyes. That was just wonderful, and I was crying with laughter. And then when they did the pivot scene, and I was just crying,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think for that they got the balance
Joyful.
right. Sorry. I think for that they got the balance right because we wanted to see them being the friends. We didn't want to just see them as the actors. So by doing things like that game show or doing things like reading the script, you kind of got back in the room with them a little bit, I suppose.
Yes, lovely. And but you say who should have appeared?
Yeah.
There's a whole
Fun Bobby.
Fun Bobby, yes, I always like Fun Bobby.
There's loads of them that should have turned up.
But you could if you've only got an hour-long show, there's only so many.
Well, it was a 2-hour-long show, and it didn't need to just be a 2-hour-long show.
But they probably didn't want to do it for any longer. Let's be honest. We don't
Taken
know
them
the
17 years.
facts.
I didn't get the impression. In fact, I mean, they were saying it was only the second time all 6 of them had been together since the final episode.
Yeah.
So it's quite an event to be able to bring them together.
Yeah. Or they'd said they'd been together once.
Yeah,
in a room together since the 70 years.
Yeah.
Out of the friends, who do you think came across the best? Who do you think came across the worst?
Lisa Kudrow came across the best, I thought.
I think Lisa Kudrow and Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, I do. I always did love a bit of Matt.
What, he came off the best or the worst? Matt
The
LeBlanc,
best.
the best, yeah.
The
I think
worst-
Chandler did do it brilliantly.
I think, yeah, but we know he has his struggles, and there's been lots of unkind things said about him on Twitter and social media.
Well, I don't read social media.
Yeah, no, but I've just
except when Megan's on it.
I actually think Jennifer Aniston was a little bit jumping in a bit too much, not letting other people speak, kind of wanting, because she's obviously been the biggest star out of all of them since, and done the most movies or done the most things.
What I found was,
and I love Jennifer Aniston. I love her with all my heart.
I love her too, but I do also that you don't know how they've edited it. Because, I was kind of like thinking, well, Matthew Perry really didn't say much. And
yes, true.
You don't know whether he didn't say much or whether they cut a lot of what he said. And so, you kind of like, someone's cut that show altogether. So you don't know quite what the balance was.
Mm.
Well, I think they made, whoever cut it together, and I think they made a really good job of it, really. It held my interest for the whole time.
Yeah.
You made us want more, left us wanting more.
I laughed till I cried, and I've only recently seen these episodes, so it wasn't like, this is ancient and remind myself. There were, and Roman was laughing his head off.
Well, I went and watched the first 6 episodes straight after watching it.
Did you?
Yeah.
One of the things it reminded me of is they were talking about how on the pivot scene that there's
pivot.
Pivot.
He kept saying it with an E, not an O. Pivot!
There wasn't much script. It wasn't about the script. It was about the
that's
actors
what Kit Harington was saying. Yeah,
and the comedic elements that they brought in the acting, which reminded me of the Victoria Wood sketch with Julie Walters, Two Soups.
Yeah.
And they're trying to convince the producers or whoever it is that this is going to be really funny.
Yeah, it's like,
and they can't picture it because the people commissioning stuff aren't funny.
Yeah,
and so they therefore can't imagine until they see it, and you realise just how and that is critical of getting the right people. And so you know
it's a testament to their amazing ability at comedy.
That casting and their chemistry was. Essential
again, and it took them forever, didn't it? That's what Marta Kauffman was saying. But we also got a glimpse to see the other Joey, and I know you obviously get used to the Joey that you have, but you know, watching the first episode, they're pretty much fully formed. You know, there's it's not like they're on a massive steep learning curve.
Yeah.
They're pretty much there. I mean, Rachel's perfect. You know, really hang on with her lines and all. You know,
I mean, obviously, and I think this is probably well documented. The continuity in terms of storyline for Friends is you know, because obviously Rachel's introduced to Chandler, but we know further seasons that Rachel knows Chandler because she knows Ross, because you know that was the housemate and his uni mate, and they were at parties together. You know, when they go and do a retro episode, and they're all dressed in their 80s gear and so on. Yeah.
Okay, so right, so they made it clear that this is it. They're not going to ever do another reunion again because probably one of them will be dead, or you know, one's enough. However, did you see the YouTube link I sent you? No.
So I started playing it and then realised it was really long, so I was in the middle of something. But I think I've seen it before, where they're
so I watched it about
pretending to be
6 months ago. And it's basically, it's called Pals, and it focuses on Emma, who's all grown up and now living in Aunt Monica's apartment.
I did start watching that, yes.
But they're all in it.
It was too long.
At the time.
They're all in it, and they're all actually playing their part, you know, because it's not like they've pulled it together from other footage or stuff like that.
But I've seen bits of this being floating around. Is Rachel meant to be, you know, like a shrink?
No, Rachel runs Ralph Lauren.
Okay. I've seen something else then.
But it's very peculiar because it's almost like a pilot for a new show where, you know, Emma and her friends are making out in trying to make a go of New York, you know. But you know. It's just one of those weird things. I don't know if you know.
I will go back and watch that, James. Apologies, but yes, now I think I got it while I was
in the middle of something.
Maybe we can have a chat. Let's see if we can find out who did it, because sometimes fans pay an awful lot of money to get actors to do stuff. Yeah. You know, I know that they got John Pertwee to do the most ridiculous things in the late 90s for like Doctor Who fan films.
I was just going to say, was that for Doctor Who or
it really was,
yeah. Well, I on the note, the point that there's not going to be another reunion, and they were saying that they very deliberately closed it all off at the end of the 10 years, deliberately with no intention of resurrecting it. And I'm sure lots of
here.
Say again.
I shit here. Didn't Jerry write that? I shit here.
Oh.
Which you know,
on the set, so the back of the set, graffitiing the set.
I didn't get that joke. I don't understand. Was it the toilet flat? Or?
It's just because everybody, I think so, and everyone's being all squishy and sentimental and teary, and he's just like, shit, yeah, it's fantastic.
Proper back of the toilet door graffiti, but I kind of. I quite like the fact that they haven't gone back and tried to now reimagine 20 years later what the hell these guys are doing. And because when they were sat on the sofa guessing what they were all doing, I'm kind of pretty sure that Ross and Rachel would have got divorced. There's no, I just don't think
Well,
they would
that's
have
what
stayed
happens
together.
in this thing. I've
Oh,
shown
really?
you.
Well,
Yeah.
quite frankly, they do, and they deserve, because I never fully liked Ross as a character. I didn't trust him. I thought he was.
Dear.
They were on a break.
No, but not about that.
They weren't on a break.
He's selfish, and he just the way he is with Rachel. He's just so smothering.
Oh yeah.
And selfish, and doesn't take her
feelings and
career and aspirations into consideration at all. So I was like, rooting. I was actually rooting for her and Joey at the time when they got together, because he was just a complete breath of fresh air. It was. I thought there was always something a bit off with the Ross and Rachel relationship.
So I don't know if you ever used to play the game. Which friend would you be? But I always wanted to be Chandler in our friendship group, and I always had to be Ross. Which
Oh right. I've been told I'm Monica.
I would be a
Get up.
Monica. Yeah.
Yeah, Monica's
Organised fun.
Competitive and needing to clean up.
Right, so I guess that brings us on to the big five, which I've changed a little bit for today. So instead of performance of the series, who was your favourite friend? I'm going to say Chandler.
I mean, they were all amazing, but the star of the show is Jennifer Aniston, so Rachel.
But my favourite friend was always Phoebe.
Hey, well, that's nice that we've all got different
Always.
friends.
And wasn't it lovely when Lady Gaga thanked her for being the different one, which kind of opened the doors to it's okay to be different.
So it's all right to have Lady Gaga, but not Justin Bieber.
I think it worked because she was actually singing Smelly Cat with...
And this is what happened throughout the whole lot, right? Because you had people like Chrissy Hind coming in, doing Smelly Cat and taking over, so it worked.
And I've just got a memo in. Apparently, the Justin Bieber thing was James Corden's idea. So there you go.
Wow. James Corden's completely overexposed, and someone needs to rein it in.
Yeah.
You don't need him.
Storyline of the series. Well, I'm going to go for Ross and Rachel.
I'm
going to go for Chandler and Monica.
Yeah, that was
it was just so excellent. It was so well done, and it was quite nice hearing in the reunion program that it wasn't intended as a long-term thing.
Yes,
and that they responded to the audience, because we were all going, "Where the hell did that come from?" And then everyone was just like, "Actually, that works.
Stick with it." And it does. You don't feel icky about it. You feel good about it, and that they continue on. Yeah, that's good. Storyline for me. What happened to Duck and Chicken? I want to know what happened to them. I want to follow their storyline.
But let's hope Ross didn't have anything.
Well, you've watched it more recently, so did we not find out?
No, it's or at least I fell asleep at the point in which they got rid of them. But I don't know what happened to them. Someone will tell me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I could very clearly see when Marcel left that, because he came back, didn't he? He left, and then he came back to the window or something to say goodbye to Ross.
Yeah.
Which must have really pissed off David Schwimmer at the time.
Yeah, he really didn't like him, did he?
Okay, my next one is visual effects of the series. So mine is Phoebe's wedding, when they had to get married in the church outside, and they just, friendsed it basically and put all those fairy lights everywhere and made like a ruin look beautiful, which would not happen in real life.
I think it's whenever they did a retrospective. So when Monica's in her fat suit, when Ross is wearing his wig and his moustache, these are all great visual effects. Very funny.
Yeah. No, I'll probably would agree. It's when there's one when they do it into the future, isn't it? It's not a retrospective, it's
when Phoebe's like a lawyer or something. She's like, I've got to still work, I've got to keep working. And she's in hospital.
Yeah, she had a heart attack. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, the stupid factor. That Monica could afford that flat in New York.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
It's her grandmother's.
Wasn't it Phoebe's grandmother? It's rent controlled, and it was somebody's grandmother.
Monica's grandmother.
It was Monica's, was it? I thought it was.
I believe so.
Yeah, but
You can explain anything away
that's
with
how
logic.
it was explained.
Have you got anything that you just did not would not swallow?
Well, I mean, it's all, it's none of it's really based in reality, is it? We know that. So it kind of.
Well, you've just ruined it for everybody.
Do you know what? The last bit was, I can understand why in the TV programme she got off the plane at the very end.
Oh, that made me cry.
But I wanted her to go to London.
Oh, that's because you don't like Ross.
Yeah, that's because you're a career woman.
Because I genuinely was rooting for her to just, stick two fingers up at him. They'd had so many attempts at this relationship that I was just like, no.
But it's funny, isn't it? Because it's hardly the rocket to Mars. I mean, she could always get a plane back.
Exactly.
But I thought the way they explained that they didn't want to leave it ambiguous for the audience because they've invested 10 years of their life.
They wanted a nice.
I got that, and for the slight feel good at the end, I understood that, but I didn't want it. I didn't want it to happen.
And resuscitation factor, well, they've made it very clear that there is none. So
yeah, and I think it's fine to leave it where it is now that they're older and uglier. Now I don't think
they look that bad.
I'm just joking. I think Lisa Kudrow looks amazing. Actually,
agreed.
And she was always the oldest one as well. She's like 10 years older than the rest of them.
Yeah, she's not.
And I thought
played with her face.
Well, I thought in the main, most of them still look pretty.
Well, we're just talking about Ross, aren't we? It was Ross. Ross looks weird.
No, Ross.
No.
I don't think Ross has touched his face. He's just older.
Well,
Poor
Matt's
Matthew's
just turned,
not wearing well, is he?
No, but I mean, you can't have it all. He was a very handsome young man, and now he is an older, fatter Italian, which happens.
No, that's Matt.
Oh, sorry.
Talking about Matthew Perry.
Yeah, well, he wasn't at his best, I guess. But
he just received emergency dental treatment, which was why he was slurring, apparently.
Oh dear.
Of course he had.
But we know about his struggles, and he set up a whole alcoholics and narcotics kind of group and things. So yeah, bless him.
Very sad.
I'm glad he was still alive to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been quite the same if there was only 5 of them. So, final thoughts. I think it's one of the most finely crafted sitcoms that's ever been made.
Yeah, I think
just in the subtleties and the way it captured the zeitgeist, and the fact they're on the Rolling Stone magazine and stuff like that. That doesn't happen very often for a sitcom, does it?
No, I have a big fondness towards them all. They are like a family, even though I've watched it in a very short, sharp burst of about. I think it took us about 5 months, maybe 6 months to get through all 10 seasons with Roman. I couldn't just go ahead. I had to let him go to bed at some point.
But it's a great episode. Just one more, then you can go to bed.
Yeah. We gotta get through this. But I have such a fondness for them, and it was just a real sweet feeling watching the show, watching the reunion.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Absolutely. All right. So can we link Friends Reunion to any other show we've reviewed?
The Terror?
Well, all I got was it's a period piece. Now, I suppose we call it a period piece now. It's set in the 90s, all those years ago.
So we've had the 80s with it.
But it was the 90s when it was done, so it was not set in... Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. So no link then.
No link.
Okay, so should we score it?
Oh, score the reunion.
Yes.
How are we scoring it? Because they weren't actually acting, weren't they?
All right, so I've changed it again a little bit, but so instead of storyline and plot, how the show held up as a show, because obviously there was planning, direction, all that kind of stuff, the way they mixed together the facts and the funnies and the memories and all that. So I'm going to give that a 7.
Yeah, 7. I agree.
We're talking about the reunion
or
the whole of Friends?
No, I think
the reunion.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah, it has to be the reunion. 6. Fair enough. All right. Deborah, characterization and performances. So performances, really.
From whom?
Well, everyone who was in it. So we've got Corden, we've got Janice. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
He was brilliant.
I loved the fact that she was talking like this, and they were looking for a New Yorker, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Oh my God. And her voice changes. What characterizations? Well, I don't know really.
Because they were acting. Even they were acting playing themselves, weren't they? Like when they were doing that quiz, you know, there was a certain amount. There was a performance element there. I've given them 7.
Okay. Okay, I'll agree. 7.
Yeah. It's a very tricky, James.
Yes, it's tricky.
Well, if you imagine the Royal Variety performance, and you were going to give that a mark out of performances.
Yeah, but there's some who are lovely, and then there's James Corden and bloody Justin Bieber.
That's why.
So it has to average out at a 5.
Yeah,
well, maybe that's a bit mean. 6.
Okay. I think you've been a bit harsh on Justin Bieber. All he did was walk around in that costume.
He had no place being on it.
Okay. All right, Megan, to you. Style.
I quite liked how they structured it, and so it can have an 8 on the style side of things.
Are you writing these down, Megan? By the way,
no, I am.
Oh, lovely.
My own ones, that is.
Okay.
Style, I'll give 7 as well, because it was nice that they sat it in open air. In front of the fountain. That was nice.
I'm going to give it an 8. Again, I agree with Deborah's points, but also I was really impressed with the way they put the set back together.
Yeah, and with the original beam that they kept talking about that was removed.
But I suppose for them that was really important, wasn't it? Because that's something that we wouldn't, as viewers, noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it where you could see, like they do on Mrs. Brown, where you actually see the set and you can see that this room is on.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Right next to the other, which is right next to the Central Perk.
Yeah, behind them.
But that's a bit of a mind screw.
Yeah. You must be aware that if you ever go and watch a sitcom, you have to sit in the middle, I imagine, because you're at the end. You won't see half of it, will you?
Yeah. Can I change my score for Style to 8 then? Because that's good. What you just said. What you said, like.
Okie dokie. Originality. Megan.
Well, I suppose a 7.
Wow. So on the movie Lighthouse, we have something very similar to originality. Wyndham always gives it virtually nothing. Because
everything's derivative.
Yeah. So obviously it doesn't run in the family. I've given it a 2 because it wasn't original. It was all that we didn't get any original footage or material, did we?
Yeah, I was going to say I was going to give it a 3, and I just wanted more stuff, more content, more of the same things that they didn't delve into deep enough. 3.
But that's the best way to lead the audience, isn't it? One more.
But on the originality, when have we seen a TV series create a reunion?
Miranda.
Who?
Miranda. About 2 years ago, they did Miranda. Was it Miranda? The sitcom, the BBC sitcom, which was a bit like Heidi High.
Miranda wasn't very Heidi High, but I think you are referring to Miranda.
She talked to the audience all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did exactly the same thing.
There you go.
Okay.
So if that answers your question.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what are you going to give it, Megan?
Who? Sorry?
Megan, did you score it? I didn't hear you.
Well, I think I was going higher than that I've now decided. I mean, it wasn't hugely original, so it gets a 4 for me.
Okay. And finally, absorption factor.
I was absorbed.
Lovely.
Yeah, gets an 8 for me.
8 for me.
Yep, 8.
Well, so after all that, you take your scores, you multiply them by 2 to give your mark out of 100. So
62.
64.
Sorry, I count them up and then I do what with it?
Double.
66.
Oh, we're very close. Okay, by the power of mathematics, I am going to tell you okay, so it gets a TV autopsy BPM of 53.3 recurring, which puts it, anyone want to guess on our leaderboard?
So we got 93.3% last week.
Oh, you obviously know. Stop guessing.
So I would say it's probably, it beats the one.
Third place, yeah. Hey there. I'm sorry to interject, but I did some bad maths there, I'm afraid. It actually got a TV autopsy BPM of 64%. I didn't double my numbers. Third place, just below the terror, but above the one, which I think is probably all right. Okay, so, well, that was nice, wasn't it? I feel all warm and fuzzy inside, just like after watching an episode of Friends.
They'll always be there for us. That's the nice thing. As the sentiment goes in the song, that program will be around forever. Like Only Fools and Horses is always on at Christmas and on replays all the time. Friends will always be on.
And I'd never seen the video of the Rembrandts doing that before, so that was
really?
it was like an extra little treat. I was too busy going out to the pub, Deborah.
I was still watching Top of the Pops, so
All right, well, that's it. So we'll see you next time when we are going to be doing Mayor of Easttown.
I've got 2 episodes to watch tonight.
Oh, I've got the finale to watch tonight.
What
time is it on?
To watch.